Hi, my name is Jeff. This is RCD, and we're going to go over this Northpoint by Jayco. All right, starting here in the back, you've got a ladder to the top. Your roof will hold approximately 4,500 pounds. I'd say once or twice a year, go up top and check your seals around your vents and air conditioning. Just check the caulking, make sure it's not drying out or cracking. There's no storage on top of here, like the old days where you could put suitcases up there. There's no racks or anything. Just maintenance purposes. You do have 2 air conditioners up there, so also check your air conditioning if you need to work on your air conditioning. Like I said, the roof will hold 4,500 pounds. Right here we have a dryer vent. This unit does have a washer and a dryer, and it is a vented drying unit. You have a tow hitch here. This is basically for a bicycle or bicycle rack or something like that. I think it's a 300 or 400 pound maximum. So this is not to tow anything. This is just to maybe get a bike rack and put on. So going around the side here. This is where this unit comes with a spare tire. So when this slide is in, there's a crank that you put in here, and you crank it, and it lowers the tire down. Can you see it there? Mm-hmm. But the unit has to be in order for the rod to fit in there and crank it down. But you do have a spare tire here, and this is where you lower the tire down. This unit has 2 entry doors, 2 sets of steps. These steps are very nice. They're spring loaded. They're not going to come down and hit you in the head. You do have to make sure your door here is all the way open. Otherwise, you're going to scratch the side of your door. So again, like I said, this will not come down on you. Now, depending upon the contour of the ground, these legs are adjustable. You could make one longer, one shorter, however the ground is. And just let it sit down. Your doors, you have a catch for your door here. Catches here, holds the door back, and you can use your screen door. Screen door just clips into this door. Okay, underneath here you have a low point drain. Low point drain is just to drain water out of your water line. Now underneath here you also see you have a couple of hydraulic jacks, which will show you how those work on the inside. These green tabs on your valve stems, that simply means these tires were filled with nitrogen at the factory. Nitrogen does not expand and contract with the weather, so they fill with nitrogen at the factory. You do not have to put nitrogen in. If they go low, you can put air in. Here's your second door, second set of steps. These rails will simply lift up and close like that. You do have 2 outdoor speakers here. It plays off the stereo on the inside. You have another low point drain here. Again, that's to drain your water line. You have a water port. This is like an air chuck. The air hose is actually on the other side, but you just connect your hose to this, and as long as you have water pressure or your water pump on, it would be like a garden hose out here. So that's what that is. Your TV, you have an outdoor TV. It does swivel to whatever position you'd like. Simply lift this knob up and down here to make it swivel. Put that knob down, slide it back into the compartment here, pull it out, use this knob right here, allows it to, you just have to watch your fingers, it allows it to pull out, lift up on the knob, and turn. Here you have an outdoor shop vac. On-off button here. Stick your hose in here. Now, your bag is right in there. That's a bag that you can buy at any hardware store. So when that bag is full, don't throw it away. Get the number off of it. Make sure you have the right bag. It's also the same bag that's used for on the inside. Got a tire gauge here, 2 110 outlets here, and that is a way to bring cords up through here so you can still close the door. You have more outlets over here. Propane tank. These are 40-pound propane tanks. There is it's either 2 or 3 of them. I'll have to check the other side. But these are simply turn them on and off according to the valve right here. Just like a gas grill. Underneath here, you have some hydraulics on here. Your legs are hydraulics. This is your hydraulic pump. Back here in the back is your holding tank for your hydraulic fluid. This is wired for a generator. If you care to put a generator in there, then you have your house battery right there. If you don't put a generator in here, you can use it for storage. Up front, you have your 7-pin wiring harness for your tow vehicle, emergency brake cable, and your fifth wheel pin. You do have some lights up front here. They light up from the inside, and some lights right here. Okay, so this unit has 3 propane tanks. You have 2 over here. This is a directional valve. Simply point to the one you want to use. Make sure the tank's on. Now, if you're pointing this way, it's going to run off the tank on that side and this tank. To go to this tank, this tank, this is the arrow here. That's that tank, and this is the other 2 tanks. Just make sure your propane tanks are turned on. This is a battery disconnect switch right here. Simply turn it to the other direction, and it shuts off all power coming into the battery or going out from the battery. So if you don't plan on using the unit for a while, go ahead and turn your disconnect off, and that way you know there's no drain on your batteries. Inside here is what they call a docking station. Depending upon what you do, this is very neat. This is all color coded. Dry camping. If you want to fill your tanks, you're going to use city water, winterize or sanitize. So if you want to dry camp, you just follow these leads here. You want your white that way, green that way, blue that way, red that way. Very simple. If you want to fill your tank, just follow the color code. Satellite cable or auxiliary for your TVs. This is pre-wired for solar. So if you want to put solar panels in, run your cord up through here, plug it in, and it will trickle charge your battery. This is another water port. On the other side I showed you one water port on that side. This is another water port here. This one you actually have hot and cold water. So you can use this on the other side or you use it on this side. This is your black tank flush. A black tank flush is a sprinkler system inside your black tank. Your black tank is your toilet waste. Maybe once a month, you want to wash your black tank out. Simply take your hose, connect it to here, turn the water pressure on, open your black gate valve, and I'll show you where that is in a second, and let it run for about 15 minutes and it will just wash out the inside. But the black gate valve has to be opened up, otherwise the water is going to end up coming, once it fills up, it's going to come out the toilet. So that's what that is. And there's instructions for it's in owner's manuals. It's very, very good idea to read all your information. This is for your city water. So if you're at a campground and they do have water pressure, this is where your hose would go. Water filter. These are your legs. Okay, this is a simply push button system. You power it on. And the best way to operate it is there are 2 automatics. There's an auto level, then there's an all retract. So if you're at a campground and you want to level this thing out, just hit auto level and it will auto level itself. You don't have to touch anything. Hit the button, let it, it's going to take about 5 minutes. It will do a little dance and it will level itself out. Then when you're done camping, you're getting ready to leave, hit all retract. It will bring all the legs up. Okay? But my suggestion to you would be, once you hit that all retract, is to go around and make sure all the legs up and nothing is left down. Because if you tear one of those off, it'd be very expensive to fix. Again, read the owner's manual on this. You can do it manually by doing each leg separately, but the auto level and the auto retract are the best way to go. Inside here, you have more storage. You have a 110 outlet. You have bottled water. Now, bottled water is if you want to carry like Culligan water or something like that, get your bottled water. There's a separate pump on the inside for it, and I'll show you that when we go in the kitchen. It's kind of a neat system. It will give you, fresh water. You also have a water pump out here. So if you're out here and you want to run your hose out of your holding tank, simply turn your pump on right there, and it'll pressurize this water body. Okay. This is the back of your hot water tank. This is an 8 or 10 gallon hot water tank. You have a plug right down here. You remove that plug and the water drains out. Let it drain out onto the ground. This is a gas or electric hot water tank. There's nothing to do in here other than keep it clean. There's no maintenance to this. My suggestion, if you're not going to camp for a couple weeks and there's water in your hot water tank, just pop the drain plug, let it drain out, because water, if it sits for a while, will start to stagnate and start to smell. Before you put water to the coach, just make sure you put your plug back in. Otherwise, all the water you're putting in is going to come right back out here if you don't have the plug in. So that's your hot water tank. There's no lighting of it or anything else. It's all push button from the inside. Back of your furnace. When it's cold outside, you want to run your furnace. This is the exhaust from the furnace. The exhaust does get hot, so don't put anything in front of it. Don't let kids run around it, because that will burn them. This is simply, there's a thing called an emaciator, and what it does, it grinds up the waste. This one is not equipped with it, but that's where you'd put it if you did have one. So other than that, you can use that for storage. Okay, if you look underneath here, you have 2 drain valves on there, 2 drain ports. You have one there and one further down. Because of the size of this coach, you have 2 drain outlets. Now what the drain outlets do, when you want to dump your tanks, you pull your valves and it drains into the sewer. Again, you have 2. You have one up here, down towards the end, and you have one here. So what you can do this 2 ways. If you're going to camp at a campground for a period of time, you can run 2 lines into a V and go straight into the ground, or you can dump one tank, pull your hose down and do the other tank. That'd be totally up to you. You can do it one of 2 ways. You have more drain ports down here. Low point drains, red and black, or I'm sorry, red and blue. If you look right here, to dump your tanks, black is your toilet and gray is your shower and sinks. So you want to keep these closed when not in use. Then when they're open right now, so when you're ready to dump your tanks, you want to pull your black first, let it drain, then you pull your gray. And the reason you do that is your gray will flush all your waste down the tube. Again, the black is the toilet waste, and this is the shower and the sink. You always have more water in your gray tank than you will your black tank. Then you have another gray valve down there. So you have 2 gray holding tanks on this and 1 black. Right here, we missed this. This is the back of your refrigerator. Again, if you know how to work on a refrigerator, this is fine. If not, there's nothing to do in here. This is equipped with a ice maker. So up top, you have your vent over your stove top. And if you look there, you have a black. It shows you your black tank, gray tank, and your other gray tank. So just remember, always pull your black first, then pull your gray. Now this coach has a 50 amp service. So you have a big power cord here. This is the power cord. It is not a 220 service. It's still 110, but it is 50 amp. Okay? So that's pretty much everything on the outside. If you look up top here, you do have awnings over each of the slides, which is really nice. That keeps all the debris off your slides. So that's a great feature also. But let's go inside and take a look at some of the stuff inside. Okay, so now we're on the inside. You got a monitor here it's kind of a neat thing. You can do everything on the monitor. Turn it on and off your lights. Your motors. You can actually do your leveling from inside. This is kind of just a duplicate of what I showed you on the outside. Okay, so there's your leveling jacks. Over here, that's your tank levels. That shows you what's in your tank. It's kind of like a fuel gauge. Turn your water pump on here. Your electric water heater, gas water heater. Now that you need to make the decision if you want gas or water. You don't run both at the same time. If you're at a campground and you're paying for the electricity and your lot fee, go ahead and use electric. If electric's extra, use your gas. Again, there's your leveling. There's your furnace settings. Here you can turn off lights individually. Bedroom, living room, bedroom, kitchen, dinette, bed and bath. This will actually show you tire pressure, front and rear. Then this shows you has 12 volt system also. Your lights are all 12 volt. All right, now down here, let me see if I can. Okay, this is for your slides. All right, you have 6 slides on here. Now that looks like a 5-1, but that's an S. So S1, which means slide 1, extend and retract. So if you want, they're both extended now. So if you wanted to retract, just hit retract, and the slide comes in. Hit extend, slide goes out. So you have slide 1, slide 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then off. Then you have pair. You can actually pair this to your iPhone. Get into the instructions and for the monitor, it'll tell you how to pair. A1, that's awning 1. Extend and retract. Then you go into your slide mode. These are all lights. Different places. This is a surge guard monitor here. Okay. What that does is it monitors the volts coming into the camper. Now this is a 50 amp service, so you have 2 lines. You've got two 120 lines. So if you look down here, it'll say 120, 120. Okay, and it'll show you how many amps you're using on each line. There's line 1, 120 volts. Line 2, 120. Line 1, current amps, nothing being used. Line 2, current amps, 5 amps are being used. So that just gives you an idea of how many amps are coming in to the unit. Again, now if this was a 30 amp coach, you'd only have 1 line. Because it's 220, you have 2 lines. So that's everything up there. Redundancy, the more you work with this, the easier it is to understand. Get the manuals out if you don't understand something and read the manuals. But it's all pretty simplistic. Down here, this is your inverter. Okay, what an inverter does, it takes your batteries and turns it into 110. So this monitors your batteries. So right now your batteries are at 13 volts, and there's nothing draining your batteries at the moment. So this, to leave your inverter on, again, if you want your refrigerator, and there's 2 or 3 outlets in the coach that will run off the inverter. So that means they're running off the battery. If you're dry camping, you probably get about 72 hours out of your batteries before they go dead. Then simply plug the coach in either to your tow vehicle or into some power, and it will recharge the batteries. And this will give you an idea of how much is being used. Okay, you got outlets here, lights, all kind of storage. Your refrigerator is a residential refrigerator, and what that means, it is not propane. It's electric only. Okay? The way you turn your refrigerator on, these 2 buttons right here, hold them in, 3 seconds, comes on. Then you set your temperature. Now, to shut your refrigerator off, just do the exact opposite. And it says cooling off. Very simple to use. Microwave. It's also a convection oven. This is a propane stove. Simply turn one on, ignite it. If the propane bottles are on, it would ignite. Any 3 of them right here at the top. You got a light there. This is your oven. To light your oven, push that in. You have to put a match underneath to light it. Hold it in for about 10 seconds, then release it and it lights. Storage drawer. Okay, right here, it's kind of like a light switch. Hit the ceiling button, the lights go out. Pendant, lights go out. Now this is your water pump. If you were not connected to water and wanted to wash dishes in the sink, hit that button, your pump comes on. So this is more or less a light switch, and also you can turn your air conditioners from high to low on here. Hit fan speed, low AC and high AC. So that's really nice. Underneath your sink here, we talked about that 5-gallon water bottle out there. So right there's a switch to turn the pump on. It will pump the water out of that bottle, and it comes out of here. This is where you access that water out of the water bottle. 2-basin sink, nice faucet. Now right here, this is your fan. Right here at the top you have a fan. To open it, just hit fan open. Opens it up. Then you have 4 settings. And it takes off. One being the lowest, 4 being the highest. Or 4 being the lowest, 1 being the highest. Turn the fan off. Close vent. This is they call a mister, and this simply monitors the temperature inside the coach. That refers to the thermostat. So if you wonder what that is, that's called a mister. Okay, down here at the bottom, we have a CO2 and a gas sniffer. What that does is it monitors carbon monoxide and propane levels. So if for some reason your propane stove is leaking, that thing's going to chirp like a bird, and you want to get out and turn your propane bottles off. For some reason your tow vehicle's emitting carbon monoxide, that will do the same, and it will tell you if it's carbon monoxide or gas or propane. So kitchen table extends. There's 2 more chairs for this under the bed. Okay, more outlets here. Top you have a series of vents for your air conditioner. You have a smoke detector. You have speakers, and you have AC vents. Those are actually, there's filters inside there that maybe once a year you need to take those filters out and just wash them out with water. They're just foam filters, and put them back up. Okay. Coming back here, we go to the bathroom. Shower is pretty much a residential shower. Light switches. 2 110 outlets. 2 medicine cabinets. Storage. It's your fan for in here. And that opens up the fan, so we'll exhaust out. And you can close it. Toilet is a porcelain toilet. The way these toilets work, you push the pedal halfway down and it puts water in the bowl. As you can see, all the way down, flushing. Okay. Got a sliding door there, sliding door here. Into the bedroom, again, you have a series of lights. You can actually turn on the kitchen lights here. Accent lights. You can slide the room in and out right here. Ceiling lights for the bedroom. Very nice. You have one on that side of the bed too, just a duplicate of that. Bedroom closet. This is where your washer and dryer are. Okay. Hanging closet with shelves. Just make sure you connect this back before you travel. That way the doors don't slide. Okay, there's your 2 other chairs for your kitchen table. There's your water filter, hose for sanitation, winterizing. There's your shop vac equipment. This has a TV, cable, satellite hookup, 2 110 outlets. You got 2 phone chargers here, USB charger. This is an escape window. So if you cannot get to the front door, pop that open, push that out. This will go all the way out. This hinged at the top. Push it all the way out, pull the screen out from this tab right here, and jump out. If you just want to use it for ventilation, you can do that. Hanging closet, both sides. Okay, let's head back towards the kitchen area again. Right down here at the bottom, you have a place for a dustpan. If that's lifted up, that's where you sweep all your dust. Just lift it up with your foot, like so. The other port is where you stick a hose in, and you can use the hose. It turns on automatically once the hose is plugged into it. Okay, you got 2 power recliners here. You got 2 fold-out couches. They'll fold out to the point where they almost touch, make a big bed. Automatic, there's a, well, it's not automatic, there's a televator here for the TV. TV pops up, goes down. Lights, 2 110 outlets. Fireplace that is about a 1500 watt heater. It actually does a very nice job taking the chill off in the morning. You can change the flames. You can use a remote on it. Remote's in the kitchen drawer, but it will put out heat. You got a surround bar for your TV. Here's your stereo system. AM, FM, CD, DVD player, Bluetooth. You got 3 zones. If you do play a movie with a DVD, it will play out through your speakers in the coach, which is very nice. It's like surround sound, but that's a very nice stereo system. It's also, like I said, it's also Bluetooth. You got a vent up here. It does not have a fan, but it is just a vent. You have a Wi-Fi booster here. If for some reason the campground you're staying at, you're getting poor reception, turn that switch on, activates this, and will pull in the Wi-Fi for you. It's like a booster amp. Okay? Then you have just a series of light switches. Again, here you have another place you can turn lights on and off. Lines. Windows will crank out just by turning these knobs. And I think that's pretty much everything. If you have any questions, please let us know. It's a beautiful coach. Congratulations, and thanks for shopping in RCD.